I'm going to share my real application of the PSW visa. Application of this PSW is for about £800. Then I had to pay IHS for £2,000. Hi everyone, my name is Meera. Welcome back to my channel. I make lots of videos regarding studying, working and living in the UK. So if this is your first time coming to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. I recently applied to my PSW visa, which is the graduate visa in the UK, since I finished my studies and my student visa was coming to an end. So in today's video, I'm going to share my real application of the PSW visa. If you're someone who's about to apply for a PSW visa, I'm sure this video is going to be helpful for you. And even for the ones who are planning to apply for a PSW visa in the future, looking at this video will give you an idea about the kind of things they ask you in the application. I started my master's degree in September and ended it in September, and I applied for a PSW visa in December the same following year, which was about 3 months after ending my course. And I received the results of my PSW application within just 3 working days. So it was a pretty fast process. Once your university sends you an email that your results are out and you have passed the degree, and they tell you that you can now apply for a PSW visa, that's the only time you should apply for a PSW visa. You should make sure that you don't apply for this just when you get your dissertation results or just when you get your modules results. You should not even apply for the PSW visa when you get results from the university. You need to wait till the time the university actually notifies you that you have officially been passed and now you can proceed with the application. Only then you should go ahead and apply for this PSW visa, and make sure you fill out all of your basic details correct. Make sure you check the form twice, thrice, because there's a huge amount of money that's involved, and I'm sure all the students in the UK would be saving up a lot of amount just for this application. So make sure you're really careful and take your time to understand things. If you have questions and doubts about anything, make sure you comment down below. I'll try to answer them as fast as I can. So this is my original PSW application form, which I recently filled and submitted. Let's go through this and see what kind of questions they ask in the application. Firstly, they will ask you your name, which is the applicant name. After that, they will ask you your passport number, your country of nationality, which was India for me, the type of visa or the application you're trying to apply for, which was graduate in my case. Then they will ask you for your email address, and after that they will ask you details of immigration advisor, as in if you're using an immigration advisor based in the UK. It was no for me. The next thing they will ask you is your contact preferences. In this, they will ask you the email address they should use to contact you in the future, the phone number they can use, and your current address. After adding all these details, they will ask you other names and nationalities. So they will ask you if you ever had a previous name. You can write yes or no depending on what's it been for you. And after that, they will ask you details about your nationality. So they will ask you if you have a valid identity card. So I was really confused about this one because I looked up different sources on the internet and every place described a national identity card to be something else. But I finally decided to go ahead and put in my Aadhaar card. So if you're from India, you would be having an Aadhaar card. So this is what you can write over here. Basically, in this, they're just trying to verify your nationality. Your passport does say you're from a particular country and you are putting the details, but they also want to know if you do have any other national identity cards. So you can put in any card you have based on whichever country you come from. You can put in the detail and if you have an issuing date for the same. After that, when you come below, they will ask you your location. So you need to enter from which country you are making the application, which will be United Kingdom. Then coming below, they will ask you if you have a student visa. So this is the biggest eligibility criteria for a PSW application. If you don't have a student visa and you have never been on a student visa, you are not eligible to apply for a PSW visa. So if you are a student in the UK, you will definitely have these details. You can put in yes. Then you need to write when did you first arrive in the UK. If you know the date, you can put that. And if you're a bit confused, you can verify that with your passport because it will have an entry stamp. After that, they will ask you if you have a CAS number. So this is a number that you received from the university when you accepted an offer to join their course. So you will have these in your email records or on the university website. After you put in these details of your CAS, then they will ask you further details such as, do you currently have an application with the Home Office for leave to remain for which you have not yet received a decision? It's no, because there's nothing ongoing I have currently. Then they'll ask you if you studied an eligible course. So there are only certain eligible courses for the PSW. So if you've done a master's degree, the answer is yes. They will ask you what course did you study. So I've put in UK master's degree. After that, they will ask, does your university or college have a track record of compliance? When you're filling in this application, they will also give you a list of the universities which have maintained this compliance. So if you're not sure about the answer, just go into that list and you can search for your university. Almost all of the universities are there in that list as far as I remember. But you can just check it before you put a yes over here. So it was yes in my case. They will ask you if you have successfully completed your course. It should be yes, because you can't apply for a PSW if you haven't completed your course successfully. Then after that, are you gonna be granted for some doctorate extension scheme? It was no for me. Have I received money from a financial sponsor? No. Coming below, they will ask you your personal details. So they will ask you your basic details such as your gender, place of birth, passport number, where it was issued, the expiry date, all of those details. Then they will ask you if you live at the address you stated above. So they did ask you your address, and if you currently live over here, you need to put those details. They will ask you when did you start living at this address. They will also ask you about this home. Do you share with someone? Do you rent it? Have you bought it? All of those details. So you can put that in. You can write the name of the agent or the landlord, the telephone number, address of the landlord, those kind of details. Then coming here, they will ask you the previous addresses you have lived at. As far as I remember, it was up to 3 years or 5 years. So they will ask you your past addresses, and you need to enter the details of where you've been living for the past X number of years into this. Then coming below, they will ask you further details about your travel history. So this one is an important one, especially if you've traveled to lots of places. This section took up a huge amount of my time while filling this application. But the good part is that once you fill in the details of each of these sections, there's an option where you can save the application and you can return to it later. So it's a good idea to try and take some time to fill out all the sections instead of trying to hurry and fill up the form in one go. So if you want to do section by section, slowly taking your time and verifying the application, you can do that as well. But my suggestion is, before you come to this page, just spend some time to look through your passport and pick out the exact dates you have traveled to places, especially if you have traveled to more than 4 or 5 countries in the past few years. It's better you do that. So you can just make an Excel sheet or use a notepad or anything that's comfortable with you and write down which country you went and the start date and when did you return back. So once you have this data, then it's pretty easy to fill it into this form. But when you come to this page of the form and then you start searching your passport and details, it just gets more elongated. So they will ask you how long you have lived in the UK. They'll ask you, since the time you started living in the UK, have you spent time outside the UK? So in my case, I did have a couple of visits. I went back home to visit my family. I also went to a couple of countries for tourism purposes. So I did have a couple of entries in this section. So they will ask you if you spend time for more than 2 weeks outside the UK. So in this particular case, they just want to know that once you moved to the UK on a student visa and you started living here, did you ever visit any country for more than 2 weeks? So if you have visited any place for lesser than 2 weeks, you don't have to enter any details about it. But if you went to a place for more than 2 weeks, you need to enter many more reasons. You need to write when did you leave the UK, when did you return to the UK, and they'll also ask you to enter the reason why you spent time outside UK. Because 2 weeks is usually the acceptable time frame to be outside the UK. But if you have stayed for more than 2 weeks, they kind of want an explanation. So just give you a reason. If there was an emergency, you had to spend some extra time with your family for whatever XYZ reasons, or even if you have any other reasons, just make sure you explain it properly in this. And in this answer, I wrote my reasoning of why I spent 2 weeks outside UK. And I also wrote that I didn't miss out on any of my coursework, and I didn't let me missing any days in the UK hamper my studies. So just mention something like that whatever you missed in this time frame was covered by you. It was communicated to the university from your end, and you managed everything well in the end. And you also completed your course on time with good grades. So just make sure you put that in as well as a part of your explanation. After this, they'll ask you how many times have you visited the following countries in the past 5 years. So they'll give you a list of places, and if you have visited any of these in the past 5 years, you need to write that. It was once in my case, so I've written that and the details of that. Then they will ask you any other countries you visited in the past 5 years. So this will include every place you've been to in the past 5 years. Make sure you write those down properly. As you can see, I had a couple of them. Then when you finish this travel history page and you come at the bottom, they will start asking you questions related to medical treatment. So did you ever receive medical treatment in the UK? And they will ask you where you went for this treatment, the name of the GP you went to, the address of the GP, and when you started and stopped receiving this treatment. So in my case, I was sick with the flu for a couple of weeks during my 1 year in the UK. So I had visited a GP, so I felt like it would be good if I write down the actual details of what happened. So I've just put in all those things. Then they will ask you if you received any other treatment. So yes, no, just put in what it is for you. They will ask you, do you have a UK national insurance number? So you would be having an NI number. Say yes, write the number. They'll ask you if you have a UK driving license and if you've received public funds in the UK. Then after that, they'll ask you to fill in a section about criminality. So make sure you read all these details and fill in yes or no. There'll be two options, yes or no. So they will ask you if you have ever been refused a visa, deported, required to leave. They'll also ask if you entered UK illegally or did something that's wrong, if you have supported any activities related to criminals and any other such behavior. They'll also ask you, is there anything you need to notify to the government? So put in all this. Then there are a couple of declarations over here, so you just need to put in that you have read everything about the guidance they've provided. After that, when you come below over here, they will ask you about your family and relationships. So they'll ask you, do you have a partner? Have you been in a marriage or civil partnership? And if there are any people applying with you, so do you have any dependents? It was no in my case. Then when you come below, there's another declaration where you say that you confirm and understand all the conditions they have set. And after this, you will actually be presented with an option to pay your IHS fees. So this is not in the form right now, but basically when I was actually filling out this application, they took me to a page where I had to pay my IHS, which is for the healthcare charge, and you have to pay healthcare for 2 years. So currently the rate is approximately £1,000 per year. So I had to pay my health charge for 2 years, which was approximately £2,000. And then after you've paid the IHS, they will bring you back to this page, and then you can finally fill out and pay the money for this application process. So the application of this PSW is for about £800. And then I had to pay IHS for £2,000. So just make sure that you have about £2,800 ready in your account before you begin and complete this application, because that is the amount that will be required for you to complete this application. I hope this video was really helpful for everybody who is looking to apply for a PSW visa in the UK. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and see you next time.